Hello, beautiful soul family. How are you guys doing? I'm so excited to share my first solo video with all of you since our retreat, and we feel so supercharged in the high powered vortex that we created with 18 beautiful souls. I'll save all the juicy stories and magical experiences from that week for our video with Eldora next, and we'll share with you guys all that happened. It was absolutely magical, and I can't wait to share with you. However, today I was just guided to share this impromptu video, mainly because I received a very powerful Christ light transmission, and it was spontaneous, and I recorded it as an audio clip that will be shared at the end of this video. And this contains a very high frequency of the Christed light that was channeling through my voice. And it activates your DNA strands, and it instantly uplifts your vibration. And I wanted to preface that transmission. That audio clip will be at the end of the video, so stay put. I also wanted to channel an energy update for the month of March, which is supposed to be a very, very high, powerful vortex of explosive, forward momentum, positive energies. So for those of you who took a beating in the month of February and felt like, oh my God, I've had enough, like, when is this going to be over? The good news is that March is going to feel very uplifting. It's going to feel, it's going to challenge you. It's going to bring your shit up still, but in a very supportive way, because the energies of March are very supportive. And mainly what our guides wanted to share was that March contains a lot of powerful portals, and they gave me a sequence of dates that I wrote down, and you will all experience these portals as very intense energies, but also the kind of energies that leave you supercharged. So a good thing to do on these portals is to take some time alone to meditate, preferably in the sun, because the sun, our sun, the solar system sun, is sending us codes from the galactic central sun. And today is 3-3, which is one of these portals, which is why I'm being guided to put out this message right away, so you can take advantage of the portal today. And keep in mind, for those who missed the actual portal dates, the window of energy or the window of opportunity is available for 24 hours. So even the next day until the afternoon, you will receive the codes. But it is highly recommended that on these significant dates, which I'm going to list out, that you do take some time out alone by yourself and not only meditate, but set intentions for your life of what you want to get let go of and what you want to manifest in your life. Because on these significant dates, everything that you speak, everything you utter, everything you visualize, everything you ask for is magnified by 144,000 times. And 144,000 is not a mathematical equation, it's a vibration. So currently our guides are telling us that the vibration of the frequency of the number 144,000 is being anchored on planet Earth. And I myself can attest to that, because everywhere I look these days, I see 144 on the clock, on the microwave. I don't use a microwave, but I see numbers randomly around me. So pay attention. You'll see different kinds of angel numbers which carry specific meanings for you. And if you Google these angel numbers like 111, 222, they're not always like the same number. They're different synchronistic numbers, but each of them carries a specific frequency, and it means the universe is trying to communicate with you. So pay attention to these. Pay attention to all the signs and symbols, and have faith in your experiences. Many, our guides want us to know that many of us who are newly awakening or have not fully anchored our spiritual journey yet, we see some magic happen, we are in awe, and then our human mind kicks in and says, oh my God, did that really happen? So take some time to really soak in your experiences and realize how much magic is taking place around you, and have faith that this is actually happening. You're not just imagining it. So the portal dates that our guides wanted to share with you are March 3rd, which is 3-3. When I say 3, the first 3 is always March. So 3-3, 3-6, 3-9, 3-11, 3-12, 318, which is my birthday. It's a very sacred number, and I'm honored to be born on this day. And 321. There are certain portals after this that are also very significant, but I'm going to stop at 321 because that is the equinox. And after the equinox, for 9 days, we're going to be anchoring a very huge energy. So just to give you a quick idea of what's going to take place in March, energetically, I'm being shown that March is going to anchor an energy that is way more powerful than what we saw on the winter solstice of December 21st, 2021. For those of you who missed the winter solstice or did not know that it was significant, go back in our YouTube videos and rewatch the winter solstice ceremony that we carried out. It contains very powerful encodements, and it also, I channeled a frequency of healing from our guides that helped remove implants, devices, and seals, and cleansed and upgraded our DNA and light bodies. So you can still receive that healing, although that day it would have been a lot more potent, but that is not to say that healing is still not available for you. So do take advantage, bring yourself up to speed energetically, because we're currently climbing up Jacob's ladder, and Jacob's ladder really represents the activation of our DNA. If you look at the DNA spirals, they look like this, right? And they have like ladders. So Jacob's ladder is a reference to the old biblical term, and it really was referring to us being activated in our 12-strand DNA, and that comes with many powerful magical abilities. So all these portal dates that I mentioned just now, 33, 36, 39, 311, 312, 318, and the climax point being 321. It's on 321, you can think of it energetically. What it's being shown to me is a tsunami of light, absolutely massive tsunami of light, and it's simply going to burn away all remaining illusions on planet Earth. And also what my guides I have many guides, like in the hundreds. I have certain guides from the Galactic Federation that keep me in touch with what's happening above Earth's atmosphere. That's more like current affairs and what's going on right above us. And then I have galactic guides that give me more like 6th-dimensional news or 7th-dimensional news, and they tell me this is what you can expect energetically, this is what we're sending you guys, and it's going to crystallize in your physical reality months from now. So I wanted to share what my guides from the Galactic Federation shared about March. They said that currently there's a bit of a discrepancy between the Earth Alliance and the Galactic Federation. And they didn't share any details on what that means, but the way I'm interpreting it is that the Earth Alliance is mainly comprised of the politicians and the people on the ground who are working for the light. And the Galactic Federation is a completely different entity. But until now, the Earth Alliance and the Galactic Federation were kind of working synchronistically in lockstep to achieve the same goal. However, at this point, what my galactic guides are telling me is that there's a bit of divergence in agendas, and they're not moving in the same direction anymore, and there's a bit of a split in the timelines occurring because of the agenda that the Earth Alliance is going for and what the Galactic Federation wants. The Galactic Federation is getting concerned at this point because energetically things are speeding up, but on the physical plane, we're not taking enough steps as a collective, as humanity, to keep up with these energies. So what that results in usually is a very chaotic situation. We can see the physical manifestation of that could be a lot more people going deeper into the 3D illusion because because intel and info needs to be shared with people at this point. And if it's not, people are simply going to go deeper into the illusion, because we don't blame the 3D people for being unconscious. We were there ourselves at one point. So we hold compassion for them. And from the Galactic Federation's perspective, a lot of disclosure that should have happened by this point is being held back. And it's not being held back for the highest good of humanity. It's being held back because certain political agendas have gotten involved in the mix, which is not approved by the higher realms. So what they're planning to do is move forward anyway. What that means, really, I don't know. But they haven't shared with me what's going to transpire this year, but they have shared that it's going to be very rocky. They have shared that 2021 is going to be a lot more chaotic than 2020. So breathe that in for a moment, because 2020 was one of the most chaotic years in our history. So brace yourself for impact of what's coming in 21. What can we do to prepare for all this chaos? First of all, the message we are getting from our guides as light workers: focus on your own journeys, focus on your own mission, focus on your own awakening. Stop trying to wake others up, stop trying to educate people on the mask, stop trying to do this or that to save others. Let go of the savior template, because it's not helping you. The savior template is going to bring you down in vibration, because it results in negativity and frustrations. And usually it feels like you're just banging your head against the wall. So it is not our job as light workers to wake up others. It is our job to be shining beacons of light and be hold such high integrity, hold such high standards for ourselves, that our light is the intensity that is enough to wake up the world. Because when people see you getting in a debate with them about a certain topic, and it's just more like a tug of war and nobody walks away with anything, there's no gain there. But if you focus on your own spiritual path and you focus on how to disentangle yourself from the 3D matrix and create the life of your dreams, then you're more easily able to jump out of the matrix and create 5D in your own bubble, in your own reality, no matter how impossible that may sound to you. I was just speaking to someone recently from the US, and I said, things must be pretty bad there. And she said, no, they're in fact really good. I live in the mountains close to Asheville. We have access to organic food. We live on a peaceful farm. So the point being that there are many bubbles and pockets where people are experiencing 5D it's not exactly 5D, but it's close to the vibration of mid 4D to higher 4D, where people are still in pockets of bliss, and they're in places where they can experience joy, they can do the things they like, they can enjoy their freedoms. And it is all vibrational, folks. Everything that you manifest in your reality is vibrational. So as you raise your vibration, your reality has no choice but to bend and shift and reflect back to you what you are vibrating inside. So if you're constantly glued to, the way I think of it is, many of us have switched on the news and television and the media at this point. But you know what's become the new media is the Q movement. And I was one who initially was quite enthusiastic about the Q movement. I'm like, yeah, this is great. This is waking people up, so why not? And then eventually I realized that all these dates and promises that never come true are lowering people's vibration, and there's a lot of misinformation being injected into these so-called truth communities. And this hanging on to dates or hanging on to expectations and then never being fulfilled, or waiting for some one savior to tie it all together for us, and it's not happening. It's just really lowering all of our vibration. So another word of advice is that the Q movement is becoming the new news, or is becoming the new television. So we highly recommend, and this is my guide speaking, we highly recommend everyone in the Lightworker community to focus on your ascension. Even turn off YouTube channels that are putting false expectations and hopes. And we recommend you follow the YouTube channels and teachers that are focusing solely on teaching you how to raise your vibration, because that's the one and only key that will help you break out of this matrix. Okay? So this is basically, I had taken some points. So March is going to be a huge vortex. the best thing that we can do for ourselves right now is to cleanse our bodies, detox as much as possible. I highly recommend Ionic Foot Detox. If you Google Ionic Foot Detox, you'll find it's like this little machine that goes into a tub of water, and you put some salt in that tub of water and you place your feet in it, and that machine, when it's turned on inside the water, it zaps out all the negative ions from your body through your feet, because our feet are the most porous part of our body. And I did that a few times. I had like 6 or 7 of those detoxes, and I was literally shocked at how much junk came out. And when I saw that junk, I instantly started tuning in, because I can see with my third eye. I can see molecular structures with my third eye. And I saw that it's not only the toxins that I've ingested from food, but a lot of the material that came out was nanobots, or these nanoparticles that I spoke about, that Eldora and I spoke about in our last video. A lot of the nanobots and nanoparticles that are controlling, and they're kind of pushing us in our negative behaviors, those were sucked out instantly. So we highly recommend this Ionic Foot Detox. Google it. You can either get the treatment from a therapist, or it's very easy to get one of these machines from one of your retailers near your home. They're very common and they're very cost effective. So that's highly recommended. What else? Yeah, so this is definitely a period of purging and cleansing. There's a divergence taking place, and the 3D, 5D split is very clear. A lot of the light workers that are listening to these messages are currently vibrating in mid to lower 4D. So just because you're awake doesn't mean that your work is done. Your work is just beginning, my friends. So take your work seriously, and the work is going inwards. The work is paying attention to your triggers. As long as you have triggers, as long as you're holding on to pain and emotional trauma, that means you have work to do. So whenever you get triggered by someone or something, stop projecting, bring it inwards, and always ask, what's in this for me? Always focus on your lessons. Other than that, watch when your past hurts are surfacing, and be authentic, be honest with yourself about your past hurts, because we have to address all of these pent-up emotions before we move on. This is all the cleansing work that we need to do. So it's not just the physical detoxing, it's the emotional detoxing, and it's also mental detoxing, because one of the things that are guides that the Galactics are currently preparing us for is that we must learn how to master the power of thoughts, because they reminded us that in the 5th dimension, manifestation is instant. So what you think instantly becomes manifest in front of you. And I wanted to credit my friend Jamie Phillips on an article he wrote. And in this article, he mentioned that in ancient Egypt, there was a great hall in one of the pyramids. And this great hall was vibrating at the level of 5th density. And when an initiate would go into this hall, they would instantly manifest whatever they're thinking of. So if their thoughts are negative, they're literally going to manifest nightmares in front of them, and it'll shock the bejesus out of them. So this was one of the initiations that were held by the orders of Melchizedek and the Sisterhood of the Rose in ancient times in the halls of Egypt. And this taught people how to master their thoughts. And currently, I'm being shown by the Galactics that the entire Earth is in a null zone. Earth is currently in a zone of displacement where time is currently being slowed down. And time is being slowed down to a point where we need to become very aware of the thoughts and what we're manifesting. So your words are like darts and arrows that you throw into the future. If you're not fully aligned with clarity with where you need to go, if you're using negative words, if you're talking down to yourself, if you are talking down to others, if you're still guilting others, if you're still holding vibration of manipulation or jealousy or envy, all of these are going to manifest in your life and come right back to you. Instant karma. And right now, it's like instant manifestation, instant karma. And this is not a punishment. What's really going on is this is your training ground for 5D. We need to master our thoughts. We need to become fully self-aware. So pay attention to the words that you speak. Are they negative? Are they bringing your vibration down, or are they uplifting you and uplifting others? So be very mindful of your thoughts and words and actions. The geomagnetic field of this planet is currently destabilizing. And what that means is if you look at the planet Earth, there's a magnetic field that is surrounded by the planet, surrounds the planet Earth. And the axis is the center, the North Pole and the South Pole. So over the years, it's been recorded that the North Pole and the South Pole, the vertical axis of planet Earth is shifting. It used to be in Canada, and currently it's moving towards Siberia and Russia. It's already shifted 40 degrees. So Earth is literally going to be, this topple will continue until the North Pole and the South Pole completely reverse polarities. That's why in some ancient texts, I remember in the Quran, it said that the day of judgment will be when the sun, currently the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, right? So in the Quran, it says the day of judgment will be when the sun rises from the west and sets in the east. And I used to think, how's that physically possible? But when I thought of the pole shift, then it all made sense, because if north becomes south and south becomes north, then west becomes east and east becomes west. So that's another revelation that's about to come true. But that is not to be taken very lightly, because what happens when the geomagnetic spin and the poles reverse is great chaos and confusion. Those who are not doing the inner work, which is, I think, currently majority of humanity, I would say more than 90% of humanity is in 3D. And by 3D, I really mean just people who are so unconscious that they're going to wear a mask. They're not going to question anything they're told. They're going to go deeper into the illusion. They're going to keep going into the fear, and they're going to hold on to the matrix for their dear life. Those kind of people are going to face more and more hardships. So you can expect a lot more craziness. You can expect a lot more people going insane and losing their mind this year, unfortunately. And we just have to hold space from a distance. It is not our job to save anyone. It is only our job to save ourselves. Not even our families can be saved in this time, because this is sort of like a harvesting of the souls, where every man and woman and child needs to stand up and proclaim either their orientation towards evolution, towards getting closer to their God self, or they will unfortunately have to go deeper into the 3D illusion, and they may have to be relocated to other planets that host 3D lessons. So Earth is going to go higher and higher and higher in vibration, and those who are keeping up with these vibrations, with these energetic shifts and jumps, those who are letting go of their egoic resistance, those who are doing the inner work, are going to keep rising up with Earth. And it is being shown that there may be a point, this is a very possible timeline, where there's physical cleansing of the surface taking place, and everything is leveled and then rebuilt from scratch. So I'm just throwing all these ideas out there. It doesn't mean all these timelines are finalized. It doesn't mean this is going to happen. This is just being shown as preliminary timelines, and we're only shown what we need to see. It's building up, and how actually it unfolds is anyone's guess. What else? Yeah, one very interesting thing that was shared. I recently experienced very severe vertigo. It was just like I woke up in the middle of the night and the whole room was spinning. And when I asked my guides about what's taking place, they said this is part of the geomagnetic shift. And they said that many people will, as a result, the symptoms of this geomagnetic shift will be many light workers and people who are sensitive to energies are going to feel the geomagnetic shift as dizziness, as nausea, as lack of sleep, insomnia. They're going to have fatigue, they're going to have vertigo, and physical weakness in the body. So it's very important for us to be grounded these days. For my vertigo, I had Eldora hold space for me, and she performed the Epley maneuver for me. So if anyone's suffering from vertigo, you can look up on YouTube EPLY maneuver, and that's very helpful in removing that feeling of dizziness from you. And yeah, the final thing that I wanted to share is that just a reminder, be conscious of your thoughts, people. Think positively. And one thing that our guides remind us to do is every hour on the hour, train yourself to speak to the universe and ask for what you want to manifest in the next hour. For example, you could be driving home from work. Instead of just listening to the radio mindlessly or singing these pop songs which are sending us distorted frequencies, instead, why don't you just practice stillness, silence, and practice speaking to the universe. When you're getting up in the morning and getting ready to go to work, start saying intentions. This is I want to have an amazing day at work. I want a day without any stress. I want to increase my water intake today. I want to eat a balanced, healthy diet today. I'm definitely going to the gym today. I'm going to take care of my body's needs. Start talking to your body. Ask what it needs. If there's pain, if there's discomfort, you can talk to your cells. You can talk to your body, and it will communicate with you. So you are coming online, in many ways, but you're not fully equipped because you're not realizing that you're the quantum computer that is supposed to send the commands. So send your commands and command the universe. I want to manifest this in the next hour. I want to manifest this in the next half an hour or in my day. And constantly speak your affirmations and commands, and by magic, as if by magic, all of these things will be drawn towards you. So the power of thoughts and manifestation is becoming very clear, and this is our training ground for 5D, because in 5D we're going to speak and it will be given to us. So that pretty much wraps up the energy update. I hope that was useful. And I'm going to leave a sound transmission that came through. It's a very powerful Christ consciousness transmission that took over my body, and I just had to record it in that instant. I was sitting in a restaurant while recording it, and I was told that I had to be sitting in a busy restaurant to channel these very high frequencies, because that allows us to create a bridge between the 5D and the 3D. So when you listen to this, I recommend that you are lying down, or at least in a position where you will not be disturbed. Definitely do not listen to the sound frequency when you're driving or you're operating machinery, because in some cases it may zap you completely. It may knock you unconscious. So don't endanger yourself in any way. And I love you with all my heart. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time. I align my will with divine will. May my body be used as a vessel for for the divine to channel the Christ consciousness from the heaven into the earth through me. I submit my ego and I let go of all my expectations. I align my will to the divine will. I now activate my pillar of light and I open my unified heart chakra for the highest service to myself and to all mankind. Calling upon all galactic councils of light, the ascended masters, the angels, the seraphim, and all the dimensions of Father Sky to channel through me and purify my vessel, melt away all my resistance, melt away all of my illusions, melt away all of my ego, so I may align my will fully with divine will. All star seeds, indigos, crystals, light workers, activate now. Activate your divine soul's blueprints now. Step into your power, step into your missions fully. Now, it's time. May our vessels be cleansed and purified with humility, with service, fully in alignment with our divine balance, with our divine marriage of the divine masculine and feminine within me. May my vessel be utilized as the pillar of light, the rainbow bridge that merges Father Sky with Mother Earth, and so it is. May these frequencies of true divine union be channeled by our higher selves into our unified heart chakra, connecting the unified heart chakras, activating all dormant nodes, nulls, and portals around the planet, activating all the hidden underground Atlantean crystals, activating all the portals of vortices of planet Earth into the fifth dimensions. And so it is. This or something better for the highest good of all. Light workers activate. It's time.